Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, determined to make a difference.
Welcome back. And if you're just joining us, it's Inside the Niger Delta, the authentic voice of Nigeria's oil-rich region. President Buhari's failure to address Nigeria's lopsided governance structure for the country's rapid development, which was part of his electoral promises made in 2015, was a major cause of concern for Niger Deltans throughout the period of his first term in office. Consequently, some Niger Deltans have renewed calls on the president to live up to his promise of reinventing governance through political restructuring in his second term in office to bring about national harmony, stability, and development. Correspondent Tekena Amilfori has more.
In seeking the nomination of the All Progressives Congress as its candidate in the February 2015 presidential election, President Muhammadu Buhari had made several promises to reposition Nigeria on the path of national reconciliation, stability, and development. President Buhari, whose campaign ran on a change mantra, was unequivocal in his promise to effect a political change that will remove all constitutional obstacles to the people's realization of their human potentials. In specific terms, the president had promised to initiate action to amend the Nigerian constitution with a view to devolving powers, duties, and responsibilities to states in order to entrench true federalism and the federal spirit. In his avowed commitment to national development, President Buhari had also promised to restructure governance for a leaner, more efficient, and adequately compensated public service sector, while promoting effective participation of the private sector for more robust job creation programs to employ the teeming youth. In the estimation of most Niger Deltans, however, President Buhari failed to live up to his promise during his first term in office.
President Buhari has behaved like some of his predecessors who make campaign promises, and when they are voted into power, they fail to deliver on their campaign promises.
Restructuring is a panacea to so many challenges of this nation, including insecurity. If we restructure, we will have state police. If we restructure, we will have economies that are vibrant, and then nations that are just going to Abuja to beg for, to collect monthly allocation. We now think, look, it's not business as usual anymore. I need to produce something before I can go to Abuja.
The arguments pointing at Mr. President's failure to address Nigeria's national question are not without basis. Under his watch, in July 2017, the Senate threw out the Constitution Alteration Bill No. 3, which sought to amend the 1999 Constitution to allow for devolution of powers from the center to the federating units. It was a moment of depression for protagonists of political restructuring in the country, inflicted on them by those elected to protect their interests in a representative democracy like Nigeria.
Some of them are scared that if you restructure, there will be no country called Nigeria. No. You are tinkering with the structure. And what is the structure? The structure is about sharing of powers and how to move along in a more united form. My expectations immediately is for them to start the process of restructuring this federation called Nigeria.
President Buhari left no one in doubt that he was not a fan of political restructuring when in his 2018 New Year national broadcast, he admitted that the problem with the national question had more to do with process than structure.
I have kept a close watch on the ongoing debate about restructuring in court. No human law or edifice is perfect. Whatever structure we develop must periodically be perfected according to changing circumstances and the country's socio-economic developments. We Nigerians can be very impatient and want to improve our conditions faster than may be possible, considering our resources and capabilities. When all the aggregates of nationwide opinions are considered, my firm view is that our problems are more to do with process than structure.
It is the structure that will inform the process. In Nigeria, they think that structure is a building. No, a structure is not a building. A structure are the inherent institutions that can make a difference. It is from those structures you start to set the processes that will ensure that the structures will stand.
We need restructuring, not only because it will help our nation, but more importantly because the president agreed he will restructure the nation.
President Buhari's rejection of political restructuring, contrary to his 2014 electoral promise, had coincided with the submission in January 2018 of the APC panel report on restructuring, which, among other recommendations, advocated power devolution from the federal government to the states. To the dismay of most Niger Deltans, the recommendations of the El-Rufai panel on restructuring are yet to see the light of day.
Now, the second tenure has taken off from May 29. So what we need to do is to remind Mr. President that this nation needs to be restructured.
There's no way you can address the challenges of our country. You can't move forward until you go back to the faulty structure that we are currently operating. So again, I want to use this opportunity to call for leadership responsibility by the President of the Federal Republic. He's got to use the power and influence and authority of that office to mobilize our country to do the restructuring that is possible.
President Muhammadu Buhari is Nigeria's fifth military head of state and sixth democratically elected leader with a full grasp of the issues militating against national unity, stability and progress. While many Nigerians welcome Buhari's plan to take the country to the next level in the second leg of his administration, critics of his government are not quite certain about the achievement of desired outcomes, given the current structural imbalance that dictates governance in the country. Mr. President is expected, therefore, to jettison all partisan and sectional considerations opposed to the clamor for the reconfiguration of an ailing governance structure that has failed to meet the yearnings and aspirations of the generality of Nigerians over the decades. In reinventing governance to address mounting poverty, national insecurity, instability and underdevelopment, the onus is on President Buhari to demonstrate the courage and determination to take a second look at the flawed nature and character of Nigeria's federalist structure as it is currently operational in Africa's largest democracy.
Inside the Niger Delta,